Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get back on the channel. Carl Neilson. It's been a little bit of a while, but yeah, good to see it's show week. Busy as always with the late drama as always as you get on a fight week. But other than that, how are you?
Yeah, mate. Look, firstly, it's great to be back on with you. It has been a while, actually. I think John took over me and started doing more interviews with you than I did. You know what? First fight week of the year. I think I just said to you before we started. Then, if this is a sign of what's to come, we're in for a long, long year. But fight week without dramas. I don't think I've had one yet, and I don't expect one to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you've got a good card nonetheless. 10 fight bill, I believe.
Literally within the last couple of hours, we've managed to keep it at 10 fights. With 10 fights Monday, drop down nine, go back to 10, drop down to nine again today, back to 10 again in the last couple of hours. Like I said, it's been a whirlwind, and we're only on Wednesday. So, yeah, who knows what the rest of this week's got in store for us.
Yeah. I mean, we'll start with um the one that you announced today. Um I know he hasn't got an opponent yet, but you'll be looking for one. Tyler J. Wells, four rounds featherweights. He's training down in Portsmouth way. What do you know about Tyler? First time on the show.
Yeah, first time on the show with us. He was actually due to fight on a Chris Hitchens show a little while ago. For whatever reason, the show didn't go ahead. Xavier Miller manages him. He rang us and said we got a slot. At the time, we didn't. It was we were full. Um, and funnily enough, Xavier Miller said to me, said to John, actually, I know you're going to ring me at some point and say that you need him because you got space come available. And today's that day. So we phoned him. We thought we were trying our luck a little bit. He said yes. He's on. We've got an opponent not approved, so I don't want to talk too much about that at the minute. Um, and yeah, like I said to you off camera, mate, he's currently on his way driving to pick up the tickets because he could get them quicker than we could get them to him.
Yeah, but good to have him on the card.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I'll be honest, he saved us a little bit. He's kept the show at 10 fights, so I look forward to watching him now.
Yeah, definitely. Next up we'll talk about should we talk about Frankie Wood versus Eliza Quizada, lightweight 6 round fight. Good little fight this one.
Cracking little fight. I've heard a lot about Frankie. Again, it's the first time having him on a show. Um, I'm in a lucky position to have some good contacts within this sport and provides us the opportunities to have Queensbury prospects on and to keep them busy. And Frankie Wood's one of them. I've heard great things about him, mate. As an amateur, he was unreal. And a lot of people are talking about him. Slow start to his career. But look, one fight at a time. He gets this one out of the way, and then I don't know what Queensbury got planned next for him.
Yeah, but it's good for you and TM14, as a team as well to get some Queensbury prospects on the card. I mean, we'll get to the other Queensbury prospect in a minute, but yeah,
Yeah, you know what? We've had a number of Queensbury fighters on our cards now, and credit to them, every single one of them, and the teams, obviously Queensbury as well. They all, they're just so professional to deal with. They're real easy to deal with. The management teams, the training teams, like I said, Queensbury, we have no issues with them whatsoever. I like having them on the show. The more they can give us to put on the shows, the better. It means we can put on more shows, better quality shows. So yeah, keep it coming.
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, and with the opponent, he's fought numerous times on your show as well, hasn't he, Eliza?
Yeah, yeah. I remember when he first come over. Actually, he fought Shabir Hadri in Swindon. I think he'd only been stopped once or twice. Shabir's stopped him, and since then he's not been stopped as much. But he is now. He's one of them. You'll see him on most fight cards in the away corner. He is as tough as they come, and a real test for Frankie, to be fair. And I look forward to it.
And he also fought Jimmy Lee a few years ago on your show as well.
Yes, he did. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think. I think we went through how many shows of ours he's been on. There's quite a few. I can't remember everyone he's boxed, but yes, Jimmy's another one. But these type of guys are great for when you need them little step ups. They're not
Because he's got I think he's got sort of a 50-50 sort of record at the minute. Well, around
yeah,
there.
he's got more losses than he has wins. Yeah, but I think when you look at who he's lost to. He's not lost in the, he's not fighting no mugs. He's been in against some real good opponents.
And he was in a good little fight on the top tier show the other week, which was a banging fight.
Oh, unfortunately, mate, I was out with my family on that day. I didn't tune into it. I saw the results though, but yeah, listen, always in good fights.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll go to Max Schultz v Jake Price, lightweight, 6 rounds. Another good little, yeah, it's a good little step up for Max in a. I mean, he fought Carl Sampson. Now Jake Price, a bit of a different sort of fighter, but another step in the right direction for Max.
Do you know what? This is a great step up for Max. We've had Max on a number of shows now. Jake Price will come forward. Yeah, if you look at Jake Price's record, he's not losing to everyone. He went to Wales, I think, and beat the same lad twice. He's as tough as they come. Now, we actually managed Jake Price before he decided to go on the road.
Yeah.
And now he's on the road. Do you know what? Fair play to him because, like I said, every time turns up, gives it his best, and that shows in his results. If you go back and look at his fights, even his losses, you're talking a point, maybe 2 point in between. The fights. There's not a lot in it whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. And then he'll be up for it, knowing, he's back on um your show, knowing, that you used to manage him. I'm sure he'll be bang up for this one. And Max, a very good upcoming prospects as well. Very strong, isn't he, Max?
Max is very strong, very very strong. Good prospect. And I know Rod and Ross, all the team there at RJ's, they've got big plans for him. They think he can go all the way. And from what we've seen already, I don't think there isn't a reason why he couldn't.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he had Carl Sampson in trouble as well, and not many people get Carl Sampson, on put over and close to stopping him as well.
No, no, listen, like you said, Carl Sampson, not many people cause him trouble. I can think of two on my shows that have caused him trouble previously. One of them is Max. So, credit to Max. Like I said, they all think he can go all the way. I believe him as well.
Yeah, definitely. Then can we talk about Daniil Crotter versus Owen Durnan? This is 6 rounds in the super welterweight division. Crotter, I believe, trains out of the Peacock Gym. Talk about him.
Yeah, he does. He's managed by Leon Sudbury. Trains out of Peacock Gym, and I think that gym speaks for itself. The quality of boxer that comes out of that gym is second to none. So you again, like Queensbury giving us good fighters, Peacock, you'll see on our cards there is a number of Peacock fighters that always seem to crop up on there. This one, not so many, but the couple we got on here, I think we're in for a treat with them.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe he's got I believe I can't think of his record, I don't want to get it wrong, but I believe he's had a good solid eight fights or so.
Yeah, mate, listen, they rate him as well. Dan, he's from Germany, keeps coming over to here. Listen, he's just looking for that shot. And I always say it one fight at a time and see what's next. But I don't think you'll see him on small hall, if you want to call it small hall this show. I don't think it is myself, but you won't see him on these sort of shows for much longer.
Yeah, and with Owen Durnan, he's a tricky operator in the away corner, and I do believe he actually did make your his debut on your show against a very another tough fighter in Jensen Irvin, who you manage.
Do you know what? Me and Owen have this conversation every time we see each other. On one hand, he upset it and, give Jensen his first loss after COVID, coming back 4-0, back into it. Owen Durner made his debut, beat Jensen on points. But on the other hand, Owen just reminds me now of how much he's helped Jensen's career. Jensen's earning more money now than maybe he would have ever have earned in the home corner. So it's one of them. But like I said, we always chat about it every time. And I'm sure Owen every now and again thinks I'm going to end up getting him stitched up. But I like the kid. I think he's great. I think he's a great fighter. Puts on a great show. He could be tricky, or he can come and fight. Whichever Owen you want, he's there.
Yeah, definitely. So he'll be there, trying to make it as awkward as possible for Crotter, as always.
Absolutely, always.
Yeah. Then we'll talk about Naraldo Yemarin versus Nathan Darby, another super welterweight fight. Again, 6 rounds. Talk about that fight.
Yeah, so Rich Farnham come to me and said that he's got this Albanian boxer and wanted to put him on the card. We've had a number of Albanian boxers on. One thing I know for sure is that they all sell tickets, right? So
Yeah,
straight away for us, it was like, yes, no problem. He then sends me the box rec, and the first thing I said to Rich was, Rich, we got a match in. Like look at all the knockouts on this kid's record, and then you search his name on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it now, and there's just highlight reels of him knocking these boys out, and I was like, it's not going to make it any easier. But one thing I do like, he's fighting Nathan Darby, who, in my opinion, is not an away corner fighter. A lot of these away corner fighters, they go and do it for the money, and rightly so, because they earn a fortune. They look after themselves, buying a nice houses, holidays, whatever. Nathan could do it in the home corner. I know for a fact he's trained and managed with Junior Witter, and that speaks for volumes for itself.
yeah, definitely. And again, I'll mention it, but he also had his debut on your show. It was yours and WBM when it was Casey Kadimi's IBO world title fight. He fought, I believe it was Dan Francis that night.
Yes,
Or
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But listen, we all know what Dan Francis is like. So I think Nathan had a proper welcome into the away corner on his debut.
yeah.
And listen, like I said, he's tough and, in my opinion, too good to be in the away corner.
Yeah, definitely. Then we'll talk about this time. It's another super welterweight. You're a big super welterweight card. This one.
Do you know what it is? It looks great, but when it comes to matching and you've got all super welters on there, there's not that many that you could choose from in the away corner, so it makes it 10 times harder. But we got there.
Yeah, but it's good. Amir Boom. Not sure if I said that right, but he's boxing Joseph Bendana over 4 rounds. Talk about that fight.
Yeah, Amir Kubu, he is another one managed by Leon Sudbury. Um, all you need to do is go over to his social media. Look at who he's been out there training with. He's been in America training with some absolute class boxers. They rate him. I spoke to Leon about this kid, and Leon was saying, listen, Kyle, like this is, first couple of fights, get them out of the way, but he's going to be good, very good. So I look forward to watching him. I don't know much on him, but I do look forward to watching him.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, we'll talk about the other Queensbury. I believe he trains in the Matchroom gym though. Christian Fetty v Jose Manuel Perez, featherweight, 6 rounds.
Yeah, so Christian Fay, right? I'm going to say it on here now. Credit to him, his team, his management, everything about him, Queensbury, the lot. He was due to fight a Commonwealth Youth title on Saturday night. The opponent had the visa approved, but then the next part of the process is to get the passport back to the visa collection centre. The passport still hasn't arrived. It could take up to 25 days, and we knew what we were pushing it a little bit. He's decided to stay on this card. Him, his team, everything. He's not boxing who he wanted to box. He's boxing less rounds. He has done arguably the most amount of tickets I've ever had sold on a show. So, I owe it to him, and I just want it on here. And, I know it's going to go out everywhere else as well. But I just want to say thank you to him because any other boxer would have pulled off in that scenario, but he stayed on. But apart from that, he's a great fighter. Matchroom Gym, John Ryder in the corner, like experience in your corner. You know what I mean? Tony Sims, John Ryder, plus everyone else in his team. Yeah, he's a great fighter.
Yeah, definitely. He's got an awkward night's work in Jose Manuel Perez.
Yeah, absolutely. And all I will say, lastly on this, Christian's fighting Saturday night. Again, like I said, not the fight he wanted, but everyone stay tuned. There's some big fight news coming for him. Big title, big show, one of
Well,
our shows still,
yeah, one of
but
your shows.
still one of our shows. Biggest show we've ever done to date. And you will see his name on there fighting for that title. I give the kid my word, and that's what we do.
Good to hear. We look forward to that one. Um, then we'll talk about I'm very intrigued with this fight when I saw it got announced between Sonny Hardy versus Jake Morgan, super featherweights, 8 rounds.
Yeah,
Another good fight for Sonny.
do you know what, son is quality. Just that he's at that stage in his career now. He only wants 50-50s, and when we talk experience in corners, we just said John Ryder and the Matchroom Gym.
Kevin
Sonny Hard is
Mitchell.
another one. Kevin Mitchell, you know what I mean? And Kevin's been there, he's done it all. So he knows what he's on about. And we work closely with him. We work, with his dad as well, Dave. And we've come up with this fight. Credit to Eddie Muscat on this one as well, for pulling this off. And I think, we've got some good fights Saturday night. Knowing how Sonny fights, it's going to be one of the fights to remember on the night.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a very intriguing fight with him and Jake Morgan, who's believe 8-1 or
Yeah,
around there.
it's so around them, 8-1,
Yeah,
7-1, something like that. But listen, and again, Jake, fair play to him for taking the fight.
definitely.
He's coming going into the Lions Den, if you like, and he's sold a couple of tickets, not many, but I've seen how far he's got to travel down here, and I don't think I'd sell that many either. So fair play to him.
Yeah, definitely, and it'll be a good fight as well. Sure, without giving too much away, the winner here gets another big opportunity, big fight.
Yeah, listen, no, Son is our boy. He's in the home corner. We've had Sonny for a long time. In fact, Sonny was with John at TM14 way before he was with us.
Yeah.
And they just continued that relationship and welcomed us into it as well.
But he boxed at the O2 Indigo. He also was boxing on the show you had at York in the summer. You know when Alfie won the Commonwealth silver and Daniel Francis could do a card. He fought
Yeah, and listen,
Suchi.
he's one of them. Like his name's first on the list if he wants to fight. I'd like listen, we think he wins this Saturday. I don't want to write Jake off. I've not seen too much on Jake. Don't want to write him off. Wins this, I'd like to see a title around Sonny's waist in his next fight.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, last well, two we're going to speak about. I think we'll talk about Frankie Senior v Dan Belcher. That's middleweights, 4 rounds. Another good little fight. Talk about that one.
Another Queensbury fighter, and again, I keep saying it, this relationship that we've got with them all is just doing us wonders. Frankie, weirdly enough, I was talking to his manager earlier. He's like nearly 7 foot. So when you look at the weight he's fighting at, it's like 70 odd kilo. It sounds like he's big, but he's not. He's like 7 foot, but he's just a beanpole, I think, as his manager called him. But I like him. I think he's great. He sells loads of tickets. We had his debut as well. Professional, real polite, and a great fighter.
I
So
believe he
yeah,
fought
listen, this is
Conor
a great fight.
Meanwhile on his debut as well.
Yeah, and that's a tough fight, And
Yeah.
I know, we won't go into details or whatever, but I spoke to Conor after the fight, and it was a very good debut for Frank.
Yeah, definitely. And with Dan Belcher as well, he's sort of newer to the away corner, but yeah.
Yeah, he's based down our way actually. I think he's based like Chippenham, which is 20-25 minutes from us here in Swindon. So yeah, I know Dan. I know Rich Fallon used to manage him before he went over to Steve Goodwin. So I know him, and I think it's a great fight. Great fight, and another learning fight. Second 4 rounder for Frankie. I wouldn't be surprised after this if you see Frankie go to 6 rounds after this one.
Good, good. And yeah, then we'll talk about it's a bit of a history making for you, Neilson and TM14 with the British title, British flyweight vacant title between Alfie Classy Clegg, the Commonwealth Silver and IBO Youth Champion versus the Midlands Champion Sean Bruce. What a fight. Talk about that one.
Cracking fight, absolute cracking fight. And yes, it's history making. We've done intercontinentals, continentals, internationals. We've done a world. You know what I mean? But to have your first British title, it's the biggest domestic title we'll have, that you can put on. And listen, as a team, we're really looking forward to this. So forget the history making bit as well. This fight is going to be unreal. Now I know Alfie's your boy. Um, Everyone loves Alfie, right? We've had him on our show, I don't know how many times. He's just there's something about Alfie you can't not like the kid. He's absolutely brilliant. We're back and forth with different opponents. He hasn't gone for an easy opponent. He could have gone for easier opponents. He hasn't. He's been offered quite a tough test in Sean Bruce. I think you go back and look at his fight, with Midlands area and stuff like that. he's been in some tough fights. So this is going to be no walkover for Alfie. And I know I've spoke to Sean's team. I know they're quietly confident. You know, you have to be to come and take these opportunities. But without a doubt, fight of the night. And I like to think, you never know how the fight's going to pan out. But me and you could be sitting here next week saying that we've got a fight of the year contender in because this is going to be absolutely unreal.
Definitely. I mean, Alfie's fought at Fly, picking up the two belts, and Sean Bruce has also picked up a Midlands title as well. I believe he fought for the Commonwealth as well at Superfly. He's had some tricky fights as well, Sean Bruce.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what I'm saying. He's not had as many fights as Alfie. But what I will say about Sean is that in the fights that he's had, he's not had it easy. He's been in some tough, tough fights. And, so it's in one sense, Alfie's got the experience, he's got more fights, but in the other sense, maybe you could argue Sean's been in the tougher fights. But who knows? It'll come down to what happens on the night. But like I said to you, mate, this is going to be an absolutely cracking fight. And hopefully we sit here next week doing a wash up on the show saying how about we got a fight of the year contender.
Yes, definitely it will be. Yeah, talk about you did briefly talk about the British title as well for you look for you guys as well. It's as big as it is for the fighters. It is just you know it's big for the promoters as well.
Yeah, listen, as promoters and the team, as a team, you always want to be putting on the best fights you possibly can. And I think you dream of putting on fights such as world titles, British titles, and stuff like that. So to be able to put on our first British title and achieve that, it's massive. We haven't stopped talking about it since it's been announced. And also slightly worried at some point something's going to go wrong and we lose that opportunity, but we don't seem to be losing it. It's very good. Everything's done. I think after this one, there's only one that we've not promoted. In fact, there isn't. There's only one that I've not matched made, and that's Commonwealth. I know Mark's promoted a full Commonwealth
Yeah,
title, Ashley Lane,
you've
Michael
had a
Ramabaleta.
Commonwealth though on one of your first shows, no?
I think we've had Commonwealth silvers and stuff like that, mate. The actual Commonwealth we haven't had.
You've
But Mark had Ashley Lane versus Michael Ramabaleta.
yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was 2017. I was still just running around then, helping out on the days. But since being part of the team,
Yeah.
yeah, this is by far our biggest title.
Good, good. And yeah, well, thank you for your time today, Carl, and I hope to see you on Fight Night. All the best with the show. It's going to be a good
Top
one.
man, thank you, mate, and I'll see you there Saturday. All right.
100%, mate. Bye. Thank
See you
you.
soon, mate. Cheers.